If there are people who are looking to you for pastoral care, then you need to deliver pastoral care, because if you're not delivering pastoral care, you're probably delivering uncertainty, and you're probably making people feel as if they're being punished for doing things and not hearing anything. So you've probably got people who are under extinction. And if you're anywhere in an organisation, but certainly middle to the top of an organisation, and you're too busy doing stuff, then there's probably a very good chance that you've got people that should be doing it for you anyway. So you're probably attempting to do people's jobs for them, and most probably creating uncertainty. And everybody I know wants to be very certain about what's expected of them at work. So the leader's job is to create certainty, and you don't do that by being too busy and being unavailable.
The more I can get pastoral care down the organisation, the more I can get everybody into the right place where I'm getting discretionary behaviour, where I'm getting the right environment created, and we're getting 10, 15, 20% more productivity from the people who are doing the doing. And if it means I have to put up without 1 or 2 reports, then that's okay for me. We've cut more reports out since we've been working at 8-2O than we've created. So that's what happens. Reports go ballistic at the start, and then you've got to get into them very quickly and cut them down. So you've got to create space. And depending on where you are in the organisation, it is difficult. So if your boss is very demanding, I sympathise with you. It's very difficult. But that's what I would recommend you do. Find some time, make sure you do it, talk to your boss, try and make sure that he gives you some of that space.
I find it hardest to stay an adult when I'm too busy. So I've let myself get into a situation where it feels like I have too much to do and not enough time. So my responses to things are not thoughtful, they're not considered, they're just rushed and hand to mouth. And you know, hopefully there's a portion of those responses that are, you know, they would pass, they're okay. But I definitely know there's a portion, and I've got some feedback on it in the past, there's a portion of those responses that have made things worse. So after I've responded, I've made things worse, not better. So I think for me, managing my environment so that I spend more of my time feeling not too busy, feeling, you know, I've got time for the important stuff, is key.
It's about the people, isn't it? You know, we can have the BMT process, but you have got to be the people that go out there and make it happen. And again, it's different from where you are in the organisation. I've had an opportunity to be right at the top of the organisation. So what I can do is, even if the environment isn't really set to make it happen, I can start to make that environment happen by managing downwards. So I don't look to manage the MDs and the chief executives where I'm going in. I've got no chance. I don't even begin to do that. What I do is I get the organisation right and manage it downwards. And then what happens is everybody starts talking about it, and that noise gets to the top, and they hear about it. And they don't hear it from me, they hear about it from all the staff who are saying, do you know what, it's fantastic working here. The environment is just brilliant. So I think that's what you've got to do. You have to have an opportunity, but wherever you are in your business, you can start it off by moving it downwards. If your boss is not going to go there, don't waste your time. Don't waste your time, you'll kill yourself. But you can influence, you're the consequence provider for your direct reports, so you can make it happen, and then they can make it happen to theirs, and that's the way to make it work. There is a risk out there that when you create this fantastically positive environment, that nobody ever wants to tell you any bad news. So we had the thing down at 4D where there was some bad news and it was suppressed. And when we eventually got to find out about it, which was a bit late, and we asked the question, why did that news not come through? Somebody said they didn't want to prick the happy bubble. And so, you know, that's a learning for me that I'm taking into Thames Water. I've got to be sure that I'm not allowing the happy bubble to be created to the extent that nobody's prepared to burst it. And that's a challenge for me. So how do I keep everybody positive, keep a really happy environment, but also encourage people to tell me the bad news when it's there. And I guess that's exactly when adult comes in. So the first time somebody comes and gives me a piece of bad news, how do I react? If I say thank you, then there's a chance that we'll be okay. Thank you for telling me that. That's really bad news. I've got no bloody idea what we're going to do about it, but at least we know about it, and let's see if we can sort something out. You know, that's the way to deal with the bad news, and then you will get it then. But I think at 4D we suffered from the happy bubble, so watch out for that one.